Hello, welcome into my channel, Words of Wisdom. My dog has just come over as well to welcome you. She's having a little lie down over there. I've just done a little 4-hour round trip journey, taking my mother to see one of her oldest friends who is not well and is in hospital. So it was a nice time with my mother in the car, spent in the car, which was lovely. It was peaceful, it was calm, it was lovely. Easy journey, which I know Spirit has, made sure of for me, and it was lovely. So I came back and I thought, what, I really want to do a reading before I set off on my next little chore, my little journey. And I thought, let me come and do this, but I wasn't sure what it is exactly about. I do know that we have been talking in the last couple of days about, obviously the full moon. It's about releasing, it's about creating something new. And, we have been feeling that transformative energy and being in the unknown and just accepting that it's going to come. I had an amazing reading this morning with White Feather Tarot. Big shout out to her, she's wonderful. And she's talking about this destiny. So what is my destiny? What is it that we know is coming? We're not sure, but it's there. Do we need to know? Do we want to know? Is there something that Spirit can guide us with? And then I picked up my spell book and I opened it up to Transform and Rebirth. So I thought, let me start with my read, first of all, that I can read to you, and then we will ask the cards to point us in the right direction. We'll ask guidance from Spirit with these wonderful cards. I have got the Animal Spirit Oracle because they've been calling to me for a couple of days. And I haven't really done any reading with them in a little while, so I thought, right. And alongside them is my Sacred Horse, the Oracle of the Sacred Horse, which I adore, and I feel like they're here as well, and these two work very lovely together. So let's see. And of course I've got my runes, so we'll ask our runes out as well and get a little bit of guidance now for our beautiful reading, and what it is that we can think. What is the destiny? What is on our pathway? Is something going to come up that's going to give us guidance? And I'm going to read the Transform and Rebirth spell first. So, from the ashes and the dust arise and change, I trust. I think that's a big key, the word trust. Spirit of the Phoenix bright, lead from the dark to the light. As the moon renews, so shall I. Transformation, take me high, from the old to the new, from the night to the day. Shed my skin, always decay, cycle turn from full to new, to reveal the path my spirit flew. Fire burn and water flow, through the change let me grow. Earth ground me, air lift me high, through the transformation I will fly. Rebirth comes with every breath, embrace the new, released to death with open arms. The new I greet, where unhealed I am complete. By the power of elements I open up, to change and unlock the door. As I will it, so shall it be, this is my will, I am set free, blessed be. And when I went to Italy, one of the things that I bought was a key ring, and it is, I should have actually brought it, I wish I'd brought it upstairs with me, and it's a heart at the top with obviously Italy in the middle, but it's a key, a golden key, and I knew I needed that for a reason. So here we are sitting about and talking about the idea of unlocking that door, opening it up, going forward, transformation, allowing the flow of energy to show us and to guide us, and that's really what this is all about now. So here we go. Let us ask our runes, and as the downloads come, I will just happily give them to you as we go. All right, so we have got our unicorn magical energy that is on the table. So our unicorn is with us, and that's very apt considering we're going to be using the Sacred Horse oracle. So let's see how much unicorn energy is going to come out with that oracle deck. We've also got I just reached in and out came our cross as well. So a lot of spiritual help and magical help. There's this very real feeling of this mixture coming together. I'm actually seeing, I don't know if this is going to make any sense, but I'm actually seeing red and green in a bowl being circled like this. Very strange. That was my picture. I've also got one other rune. Oh, the same ones as yesterday. Okay, so Jiha's with us as well as our P, and this one has come back out again. I need to find out what this is. This is something that we've got to find out about. So magical energy definitely on the table right now, and we know that we had the same runes yesterday, and you saw me shuffling that bag. It just means that spirit is still very much of the opinion we're still needing to hear that it's about this harvest, this change, this time that we've planted in spring, as we're allowing things to grow, and that's transformation, isn't it? That's what that rune is telling us all about. Fertility, creativity, bringing in your desired events. So it's about manifestation. It's also about creativity. Full moons are about releasing all, creating something new. And new moons will plant those seeds and allow them to grow. And then of course we have exactly the same as yesterday as well, the Wunyu. Let me just check. Oh dear, have I gone past? Yes, I have. There it is, Wunyu. And Wunyu is saying the same thing. Remember, it's a positive rune. It's about, sorry, upside down, positive. And you may experience a feeling of being truly blessed by the higher realms. Absolutely. And I said to you, I went on this journey today, 4 hours door to door, backwards and forwards for my mother, but it was having that time with her as well, which was very lovely, and it felt very harmonious and blissful. Bliss and harmony are also pleasant, and I've got my sunstone on me, and that sunstone is all about joy and harmony and bliss. So the journey was easy. It was a lovely little visit. It was a great journey back. We were fine, we were safe, we were happy, and you know, we spent time together, and that's absolutely lovely as well. So magic on the table as well as very strong spiritual presence. So let us now go to our horse, our sacred horse oracle. I think so. All right. Please, Spirit, for me and my beautiful viewer, let's ask what it is that we can expect our destiny to start shaping in this new transformation, this new change. What it is that you are guiding us with right now, Spirit, please. What is it that you are guiding us with? And I really feel like tingling all over right now. It's really lovely, and I have my fan on, so it's not that I'm hot. But it's a lovely feeling of, ooh, I feel like a little bit of like anticipation, like a bit of excitement almost. That's nice to feel, isn't it? Sometimes it takes us a little while to get through a transformation where we have a bit of a numb feeling. Okay. Untamed spirit, a brewing storm. Yeah, that kind of feels like, you know, it's so hot, and often we feel that hot before an electrical storm, don't we? You know, that feeling. Okay, we got a few more that have come out onto the floor. So we have Lapalazuli, which is about trust in relationships. Wild Rose, Archangel Gabriel, who is all about the throat chakra, communication. So we have a beautiful archangel with us on the table as well. So we'll have Archangel, and we have Suretsi, the clay that binds. And it was funny how I was sort of saying, I took my mother to see her friend. They've been friends for 50 years. You know, when you've got a bond with someone, that bind, and I absolutely said that to my mother, you've got a very strong bond, you know. So even though you only spent that moment with her, at the end of the day, that bond is very important. And we often find that, don't we? We have that sort of bond. Okay, so let's have a little look. First of all, I put them out in this way, but I'm going to start with Untamed Spirit, the Brewing Storm, because he was the first one that came out for us. Beautiful, beautiful horse. So let's start with Untamed Spirit. And see what he has to say to us. There he is. All right. And it's on 125, which adds up to 8, which is infinity. So there he is there. You can have a little look. It means freeing fear, steady reaction, and energy is harnessed. When a horse comes to water, he often will pour it, stirring up and making the once clear water murky. There are many reasons he might do this. He may see his reflection and not understand it, and try to destroy it. He may mistake the mirror image for another horse wanting to drink the water, muddying the water to drive the other horse away from his resources. Lastly, he might be unsure of the reflection and does not know what lies beneath. He fears that stepping into the water will be dangerous. These responses are all based on fear, and when present, fear can ignite the desire to escape or control a situation. So fear is potent energy when listened to and harnessed. An untamed spirit can bring forth many new wonderful expressions on earth. However, uncultivated energy can also be very destructive. A wild horse in fear will take one of 3 choices: fight, flight, or freeze. In each of these cases, his body reacts for his survival and overrides his mind. This powerful stallion invites you to look at your fear. The water he stands in represents repressed emotion. The storm around him reflects the energy that can brew when unharnessed or repressed emotions are unaddressed and continue to build. He stomps the water to demonstrate the reactive behavior that can arise with the fear of facing what lies beneath the surface. Untamed spirit reminds you of emotions you may not wish to look at. Maybe you want to avoid your shadow self or feel a significant lack in your life. It would behoove you to dive into those uncomfortable and challenging feelings. Leaving them unattended can create a storm in your life. That brewing storm may already be clouding your connection with higher realms or your inner authority. Perhaps you have felt reactive or have expended precious energy trying to control, fight, avoid, flight, or suppress, freeze your fear. None of these strategies will calm your inner storm. Learn to harness the storm's energy and use it to your advantage. Fear is a gift when you listen and discern its message correctly. Untamed spirit encourages you to sit with your raw emotions before you act. Experience them more deeply and receive their direction more precisely. When you do so, you can avoid the discomfort of the storm. If a storm is already brewed in your life, do not see it as a negative. Nature demonstrates that all aspects of a cycle are to be respected and accepted. And that's exactly what this was all about. Remember, cycles, seasons. Yeah. Okay. So the lessons come round again. And if we're not listening, we're not paying attention, we get that nudge, we get that repeat. We have to start paying attention. So storms can stir up the air, create powerful winds, form clouds, and release torrents of rain. And isn't it funny how that transformation and rebirth spell was all about the elements? So this is a very important message for you and I. The skies will clear, the air will be fresh and purified, and you will have entirely new perspective. I'm going to go to Lapalazuli now, I'm being told, because Lapalazuli is building trust in relationships, directness, safety, and truth. Okay, he's a calm and intelligent horse who holds his head high and strong, and he gazes into your spirit. He seeks to share his insights on how to build trust in relationships. What did I say about trust? Yeah. The mirror a horse offers is a gift for the receiver. It brings forth awareness of what is hidden. Humans are also social beings, and they will respond more readily when another is direct and truthful. Humans too can mirror the repressed energy or emotions that another may not be aware of but have brought to the exchange. This truth starts with the awareness of the emotion and energy one offers another. More trust can grow in all relationships when individuals focus on bringing forth the truth of who they are in each moment. And isn't it funny, we have got Wild Rose, a message from Archangel Gabriel, who is sitting right next to Lapalazuli, and that is all about communication with Archangel Gabriel. So, horses are open to being with you and welcome your companionship. Sorry. When Lapalazuli, let me read this bit. Truth is one of the most vital guiding principles for humanity and horses. Without truth, there's no safety. Hidden agendas, ego-driven behaviors, suppressed emotions, and covert communications destroy communities. In the wild, a horse that operates this way will soon get booted out of the herd. So when Lapalazuli appears for you, he is encouraging you to develop the ability to be congruent by being honest with what emotional feeling is present within your body. And I was like, oh, I feel like this emotion going through my body. Do you remember? I was like, oh. So feeling is a really important emotion right now. And whatever it is that you're doing, assess the feeling of what it is that you're saying, behaving like, doing, being part of, agreeing to, whatever it might be. Because I had a lovely time with my mother. I kept thinking I've got 100 other things I could rather be doing today than spending 4 hours on a motorway. However, it was fine. And I spent that lovely time with my mother and having a nice conversation. So a horse always knows what you are feeling. When you also recognize your true feelings, a horse feels safer. You will find this to be true with your human-to-human relationships as well. To hide your true feelings and have no emotional awareness is to lie to yourself and to others. So listen to this message from Lapalazuli and you will explore the emotional energy you bring to your partnerships. You will name the emotion and where it lies in your body. You will not ask another to take it for you. Instead, you will begin to tame the untamed nature of your being. Tend to yourself first. You will become more transparent and direct, and your relationships will deepen. Have compassion for yourself as you learn to be self-contained and emotionally aware, offering the truth of who you are without apologizing. Absolutely. Are you ready to be honest with yourself and others is one of the questions here. Okay, so Wild Rose is Archangel Gabriel, and you can see here this kindred spirit horse cares deeply about you and your journey, supporting you to make decisions that will positively impact your life. With beauty beyond measure, Wild Rose brings all to all. Yet with her presence and healing heart energy, she guides you with grace. The red roses around her neck and entangled in her hair symbolizes the great love and neutrality she offers. She comes to serve you at the highest level possible. So Wild Rose wishes you to ponder a few questions to clarify your connection to the greater forces of the universe, the cosmos, and God. She sees your confusion when you feel let down or disappointed. Believing that the universe or God does not support you, you might even feel abandoned. She's not here to challenge your beliefs, but to help guide you to a deeper understanding of the spirit forces that support you in your physical world. Wild Rose invites you to allow her loving spirit and the healing power of Archangel Gabriel she carries to help heal the painful thoughts that have created confusion, isolation, or disconnection from wishing and praying for something that did not manifest. To receive this healing, hold deep trust in the process. There's the word trust again. And you will see that this is one part of a more significant journey. There are great lessons to embrace, and Wild Rose ignites a brave heart within you to continue moving forward despite frustration or disappointment. You are protected. Remember the runes. Trust must be part of your journey if you believe in a benevolent universe and that there is a God. Do not allow anger to rise if you are feeling deserted. Instead, breathe deeply and imagine you are like Wild Rose. Step into your power with grace and elegance. Feel the roses surrounding you as a symbol of protection. Know that Spirit is with you regardless of what transpires in your life. Trust can be hard to evoke when you do not anticipate, want, or pray for what is happening. Yet this too is part of your lesson. So Absolutely. The unknown, letting go, surrendering, believing and trusting that everything is meant to be. Whatever is meant to be on your path will come for you when it's ready to, when you're ready to receive it. Remember that. Right, Suretsi. Our beautiful Suretsi. Suretsi, what a powerful unicorn Suretsi is actually. And it's beautiful. We've got a unicorn on the table when we have got our unicorn rune. Okay, and Suretsi, look at the similarity. Look at that. Look at this horn. And that horn is very powerful horn with Suretsi. It's about healing, knowing that you're being healed, also overcoming fear. The clay that binds. So Suretsi. Suretsi's story is quite a powerful one because it is about overcoming being brave, tenacity and healing. He once lived in Botswana. The country is mostly a desert tableland and rolling plains, but to the north lies the Okavango Delta, one of the world's most extensive wetlands. The delta is a peaceful home to the abundance of wildlife, including hippos, elephants and crocodiles. People travel from all over the world to experience the Okavango Delta, and many of the tourists are carried on horseback to reach inaccessible areas by vehicle. One night a horse by the name of Suretsi escaped the confines of a makeshift stable and roamed away from camp. After walking for miles, he reached a riverbank and found grass he knew he could eat. For over a week, the guides could not find him. The story has it that, focused on the grass in front of him, Suretsi failed to notice a flicker of eyes in the African bush, and before he realized the danger, a lion leapt from the bush and attacked him. He fought hard to dislodge the lion and flung his body back and forth and reared up with a great cry. He slipped on the muddy riverbank and flipped on his back. The lion, shocked by the sudden turn of events, released his grip. Suretsi quickly stood and kicked the lion repeatedly until the lion retreated into the bush. He journeyed back to the camp with a large flap of skin hanging from his withers where the lion had mauled him. Luckily, the guides found him and they treated his injuries. They cleaned the wound and applied a thick paste of clay from the river bank. The paste was a local means of healing injuries. He was despondent and heavy for several days, but eventually he did heal. There was no knowledge of another horse surviving a lion attack on his own. He lived for another 10 years and bravely continued to carry guides and tourists to the lands. At birth he was aptly named Suretsi, meaning the clay that binds. So, the legend on earth and a powerful unicorn spirit now is known to visit those in need of courage and strength. He reminds you to be unshakable. He reminds you to be present in exploring new territories, even if you are under threat from the unexpected. Remember the fear? So it's funny how I put Untamed Spirit and Suretsi together underneath Lapis-lazuli and Wild Rose. So I'm just saying. So call on Suretsi to protect you on your journeys. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Spirit. That was absolutely beautiful. So, oops, move that a little bit too much. There we go. All right. So, I hope you can still see everything. All right. So that's the beautiful guidance that we have got on the table so far. So overcome your fear. Trust is a big thing here right now. Okay. Know that there is magic and guidance. We've got protection, we've got luck, we've also got the idea that it's about transformation, rebirth, something new is coming along. Remember Suretsi, he wasn't paying any attention to the fact that the lion was behind him in the bushes. So all of a sudden the lion attacked him, jumped on him. And that's what I kind of feel is going to be happening very soon for you in terms of, and me, in terms of this new situation. It'll suddenly present itself. That's why I was getting that bubbly feeling. It's something exciting. It's something new. It's something that's going to be different. You're not going to be attacked by a lion. Okay, I'm just going to put that out there. Right, we have the beautiful camel that has come out. He was on the floor. Let me just read that straight away, actually. Our camel. So the camel is about resourcefulness, independent, and knows oneself. can handle absolutely anything and carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease, even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger. The camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. Harmony, calmness, yeah, blissfulness, keeping that balance. Absolutely. The camel is also a wonderful traveler and especially fond of trips to faraway lands. But it's interesting how we've got here like the crescent moon. I think that crescent moon, I think that is the waning crescent moon. And that happens just before the new moon. So we've got a very clear message here that we've got everything within us to overcome the fear, things changing, this new transformation, what is coming next. Absolutely, we're learning our lessons, we're doing what we know we need to do. Okay, we have got Archangel Gabriel with us, helping us with our healing, our trust in that. I love this. This is so lovely. Okay, so what else, Spirit, please, for guidance to confirm what is on the table, please, with our lovely animal spirits. The wild unknown. I like that. The fact that it's the wild unknown right now. We've got a vulture and we have a zebra. Lovely. Beautiful. Okay, so for some reason this I got a phone call and it cut off my thing. So we have came out our camel, which I just read, also the vulture, and then the zebra. So let's read. The vulture is all about tidying up, clearing. You know, vulture is a great card to have. It's a very strong bird, very clever bird as well. And the zebra, of course, is all about intuition and guidance and knowing and trusting, which is exactly what we were talking about a little bit earlier. So let's have a little think about what our vulture is all about. Guardian and purifier, essential for rebalance. Vulture perhaps is the most misunderstood creature. He appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. The vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. So maybe there's something that you've had to really let go of. Maybe this brewing storm that you've just been through. You know, trust in this. Trust in the fact that it has to clear. And your vulture is telling you, you know, bring yourself back into balance. You get clarification and wisdom is revealed. When you are out of balance, it's quite aggressive and dramatic. And to bring into balance, clean your space. Sage. Before I started the reading, I was saging away. Absolutely. So try and do that as well and see if that will help you in terms of whatever this brewing storm was, whatever it is that you've had to speak your truth about, the trust in knowing your guidance, that you are there. And you know, like Soretsi, overcoming that fear of maybe speaking up about something. And then let's go back to our zebra. Oh, where is he? Can't see him. I couldn't see him for looking. Our lovely zebra. Why can't I find him? That's really weird. I can find a gazelle, but I can't find the zebra. Maybe it's a different area. Can't be fire. I would have thought it would be here, maybe. I will find it. I will find it. Bear with. There he is. He is fire. Zebra is the most precious of gems, creative, visionary, eccentric. Be prepared. Their potent magic is contagious and you may soon find yourself in a faraway land, expanding your worldview while having a blast. Zebras also like to contribute to global health through environmental or volunteer work, and this card may be a hint to pack your bags. So some travel could be around, but it is this visionary, this idea of going further afield. You don't actually have to pack your bag, but you could be packing your bag there as transformation, rebirth, that type of feeling, getting rid of that old baggage, starting fresh, starting new with something, having this sort of creative feeling, this forward feeling. Okay, so that is beautiful cards. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that, Spirit. That's lovely. Anything else? Anyone else wants to come through? The rabbit I just seen. There were too many of them that jumped out together, so we'll see if our rabbit comes back. One more card. Let's go for one more card to make it an even 4, perhaps. That would be nice. There we go. All right, we've got 2. We have our frog, very magical, our beautiful frog, and we have the deer. The frog and the deer, and it's very interesting, the green, because Archangel Gabriel is green. Look at that, green on this card as well. So very much this healing energy as well with green around. But let's read these two, the frog and the deer. The frog and the deer as our final thoughts. There he is, our frog. Clearing, cleansing and healing. See the green, absolutely. The frog spends his first months of life entirely within this healing element and then emerges stressed on land. Frogs tend to become overworked and undernourished, so it's vital that such sensitive creatures practice self-care. It's also about a reminder that water cleanses us, forgives and releases. Time to dive in. Frogs aren't meant to carry a heavy load. All right, so clear your energy and find enthusiasm for life again. Absolutely. Maybe that's what that visionary is talking about. The idea of, packing your bags and traveling, really and truly. Maybe you're thinking about doing something like that. I don't know. But take what resonates. Take what resonates. Where's my deer? Wolf, deer. Loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. The feminine aspects of our earth energy, but it's especially potent in new parents. It's available to all of us. This inner beauty radiates a sense of grace that calms the room. A dear personality affects others in this way, drawing them towards a quiet tenderness. If this card appears when a birth or celebration of a new life draws near. Didn't I read something about new life? Isn't that interesting? Wasn't that in the rune? Or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. So receptive, compassionate and nurturing when imbalanced, when out of balance, concerned and protective, and to bring into balance nature and children. So that is a beautiful, beautiful amount of reading. The idea of, I think this nature and nurture scenario is for ourselves right now. In my spell that I read right in the beginning of this reading, it was about transformation and rebirth. That's where the birth came from, a new thing. So absolutely the idea of rebirth and healing brings rebirth and transformation. That's what's very important for us to recognize. So trust in your journey, even if it's 4 hours door to door with your mother. Make sure that you trust in something is happening for a reason. It's taking place for that reason. You are learning the lesson for a reason. It may not be clear right now. Remember, we've been doing the last couple of days the unknown, and we got that again with the same runes coming out. We're being told very clearly, and it's very funny how I just had this download. This rune, I don't know what it's called. It's not in my book. It's the unknown rune, and that's the second day it's come out, and that was just my download. You've even got an unknown rune. So unknown benefit is there for you on this table. This feeling of bubbling of excitement, but I don't know what. Yeah, it's unknown, and we're being told very clearly with the horses, or the animals. It's nature and nurture. ourselves. And as humans, maybe sometimes we can forget to recognize that horses are very instinctive, very herd driven, very networking, whereas we as humans sometimes possibly could do more. So I don't know where that was coming from. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I apologize for the blip in the middle there, but I hope you got the gist of what it is that we've talked about, transformation and rebirth. It's all here on the table. Thank you for joining me. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.